Hello. It is lunchtime in Chesapeake, Virginia, and my name is Colleen Magness. So normally, well, almost always, I come to you live on Wednesdays at noontime, so you can take a break from your day, eat some lunch, and just watch me create. So I have been doing my Facebook Lives for quite some time, and normally I start with the camera facing down because it's safe. I have everything set up, I'm ready to go, but every now and then you want to be seen, especially if it's an okay hair day, but you just want people to know who you are because I just want to interact with you and say hello. So Betty Ann is with me. Hey Betty Ann, I'll be seeing you Friday night for bingo. We have an in-person bingo, that will be fun. But I'm going to let people come on, but I just wanted to say hello. And I hope you will start joining me at noontime Eastern time on Wednesdays. Hey Nancy, glad you could make it. Now today, I'm actually doing a fairly simple card. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 20 years this October 1st, which is just crazy, but it's been wonderful. And I tend to just really love my special folds, all the layers and everything going on, but you often need a simple card. And the card that I'm sharing with you today, I'm showing it in different colors, and I hope you will like it. So hey Lee, hi Diane, I'm glad you came on. I am actually, as I was saying, I normally keep the camera down, but I'm living on the edge today. So I'm gonna turn my camera down and get started and show you this beautiful simple card that I found on Pinterest. It was inspired by Claire Daly in Australia. So, hey, Debbie Lyons, my neighbor's watching. Hey, Deb, I wonder if you have the grandkids today. Hello, Julie. So Nancy's here. Let me get started, but just wanted to say hello today. So hold on for just a second. Oops. When I switch it around, it's not technical, it's not beautiful. But you know what, if it works, then I am a happy, happy camper. Because sometimes you do this and you know, you're upside down, you're all around. And let me just start my Facebook page so I can see that I'm here, because sometimes I'm on another page. Lord knows that has happened more than once. Okay, so what I am sharing with you today, this is a stamp set called Delicate Dahlias. And, you know, a lot of times I'll tell myself I don't need another floral set. But this one, guess what? I did. Because it is so beautiful. It's a distinctive stamping set, so you can stamp this gorgeous flower. The leaves are the same way. You have an outline, so it's a two-step stamp. This can be stamped on top, or you can actually stamp or emboss the line image and then color it in any way you want. I have seen multiple techniques with this stamp sets, from chalks to blends to watercolors. Really, truly is a beautiful set. Hey, Colleen from Texas, I'm glad you're with me today. So as I said, I technically don't do simple cards, and unfortunately I needed a sympathy card today. So this will come in handy. This is the one that I'm going to show you how to make. But as you'll see, all of the cards are made with our in colors. Because with the Delicate Dahlia stamp set, this set cannot be purchased. Right now, till September 30th, Stampin' Up! Has Sale-a-Bration, which we love Sale-a-Bration, because this is free product that you can earn. And I'm going to actually show you how to get all the supplies for these cards and earn this free stamp set. So you can't pay for it, you have to get it free. So during Sale-a-Bration, for every $50 or $100 that you spend, you get to choose some amazing items out of this brochure. Now I am doing my Penguin Pals class on the 20th. So many of you chose to receive the designer paper with that class. But gorgeous things. We have a beautiful Feels Like Home stamp set, the beautifully penned. Love the peaceful prints. I actually paired that up with the penguins because after all, your penguin is already in a black tuxedo. So why not put a little red on there, and he is stepping out. But what I'm going to show you today is in the back. And typically you have to spend, not typically, every time, you have to spend $100 to get this stamp set for free. So again, stick with me through my video and I'll tell you exactly how to do that. But for no further ado, let's get started. So again, this is a card that we're going to make, sending heartfelt sympathy, because unfortunately, we need those cards. So what you're going to have is one sheet, it's a half a sheet of your 8.5 by 11 cardstock. This is Evening Evergreen. So you're going to cut it 4 1/4 by 11, and then you're going to score it at 5 1/2. Next, for the inside, you will need a piece of 3 3/4 by 5 inch of basic white. You are going to have a small piece of 2 1/2 by 3 5/8 of basic white. And you see here, I wrote 2 1/2 by 3 11/16. Many of you know I was a drafter before I was a stamper, so I am not afraid of little bitty fractions. But if you are, cut this 2 1/2 by 3 5/8. The only reason I did 11/16, which is just a smidgen under 3 3/4, is because you are going to mount it on the Stitched So Sweetly, this like 3x4 die, Pale Papaya. So when you put it on here, you know, you would just be slightly shorter at the bottom. Drove me nuts. You know me. If this is 1/16, I want 1/16 all the way around. So that's why I did my white with these measurements. But you are welcome to do it with those measurements. And I promise you, if you're not a drafter, you'll never notice. So as I said, these two pieces here, this is an awesome die set. It is called Stitched So Sweetly Dies. And they sell for $32, but they are awesome because you get 10 dies in this set. So you have 6 layers, and this is what I used for the scallop. It's awesome because it stitches and cuts the scallop all at the same time. But then you have these beautiful dies that you can put your words in. And this was the one that I used here. And again, it's stitched. I think that little bit of stitching adds so much. So that's where these two dies came from. And then last but not least, you are going to need 2 pieces of 2 4-inch pieces of the Pale Papaya Open Weave. Again, we are working with in colors today. So the beauty about the in colors is there are 5 in colors in total. Now what an in color is, it's a color that comes in every year, but only stays for 2 years. It's so that Stampin' Up! Can stay on trend with all of the colors that are out there. So the new in colors, these just came in and they will be in till 2023, is Fresh Freesia, Polished Pink, Evening Evergreen, Pale Papaya, which is one of my newest favorites, and last but not least, Soft Succulent. So the 3 colors that we're using today are going to be the Pale Papaya, Evening Evergreen, and Soft Succulent. So they come in the ink colors, the cardstock, and the ribbon. So everything is just going to coordinate beautifully. So to get stamping, what we are going to do is take the smaller sheet, the 2 1/2 by 3 5/8, and I'm going to use my paper piercing mat because it is a photopolymer stamp. Now photopolymer stamps have a huge benefit because you can really get a lot of detail from them, but they don't give it all. It's more of a harder plastic instead of that red rubber. So you just want a little cushion or a couple pieces of paper, something underneath there so that it'll print, stamp nicely. So I'm going to take my Pale Papaya. I love saying that, Pale Papaya. And I am going to ink it up. I'm just going to stamp one image down at the bottom. And see how gorgeous that is? Again, that's what they call distinctive stamping. It just has all the detail and the shading right into the stamp itself. I think that's why stamping became such a favorite craft time of mine, because your stamps do all the work. If I tell people all the time, if you can hit an ink pad, slap a piece of paper, you are stamping. So I have that piece there. Then I'm going to take my Soft Succulent and I'm going to stamp some leaves on here. So I'll put one here. And let me see. Let's put one over on this side. And if I don't like that white on the bottom, I can stamp off. I want a little bit lighter, just so that this gives us a really nice collage. So that just looks like a piece of paper. Now just keep in mind too, when you are stamping this, you could actually do a whole sheet of 8.5 by 11 and just do a collage of the flowers and the leaves and then cut them down to your size. You don't have to always do everything right individually. Now since I'm stamping, let me go back. This is my centerpiece. So what I have stamped this on the front, and then I'm going to stamp this flower on the inside. And as you can see, sometimes I just make it a 1/4 inch smaller, but this time I made it a 1/2 inch smaller because I wanted a little bit more of that beautiful evening evergreen outline. So I'm going back to my pale papaya and my distinctives, the solid stamp, the middle one. I'll just put some of that at the bottom. Gorgeous. Love the stamp. And just to give a little bit more texture, because I am a texture person, I'm going to put some splatters on here. Now, we have used stamps that are little splatters. They're great to use, but you can also take a Stampin' Blend, and they have two ends. You have two lines here. There's a thin line, a thick line. That's because on this side, you have a fine point. That's your thin line. And then on this side, you have your broad point, your fatter point. And that's the one that I want. And you can use any color. I'm actually using the darker Calypso Coral because I think it really gave it a nice contrast. And I'm just going to take it and tap it on my block. Kid you not. Look how easy that is. Put a couple over here. Trick is not to do too many because it's a lot of fun and it adds to it, but you don't want a snowstorm. You want some little, let me see if you can see that. Just some little accents. And there again on that piece. So to assemble this part right here, I'm going to take again the pale papaya, the stitched, and just take my Stampin' Seal. Excellent tape, by the way. I mean, it holds so tight. You want to try to get it right the first time because you can pull it out, separate it, but it's hard. But I'm putting this piece here. I'm going to take my Evening Evergreen card base. I'm going to put this on the inside. And then something I forgot to do, so let me do that real quick. Nice thing is with a simple card, you can work in all different directions, even if it wasn't what you wanted first. One of the things I did on the cards is I love, just like Clear did, stamping tone on tone. Again, I'm a texture person, but at the texture person, sometimes you can use an embossing folder. I don't like using a lot of different colors because it makes your card so busy. But on each of these, I did tone on tone and I took the outline of the flower and I stamped that. So again, use your piercing mat. Put your card on here, tone on tone, so that means evening evergreen on evening evergreen. I'm just going to ink it up. And again, I'm just creating that collage around the edges. I'm not too worried about the middle because after all, my middle is going to be covered. But I'm just going to put these around here. Who did we have pop on while I've been talking and stamping? Hey Barb, I'm glad you could join, and Gwen, I'm glad you are here too. Yes, I am back from Lake Gaston. I went last week, had all 5.5 of my grandbabies there. The one is only a half because he or she will not be here till November. We don't know what that baby is yet, but had an amazing time just swimming, tubing, not surfing, you can't surf on the lake. What do you call that? Skiing. But just so much fun with all the grandkids, I tell you. And it's funny, the lake trips are not what they used to be. We used to get up at 9, drink coffee till noon, get on the water at 1, play cards till midnight. Now I think there's always a baby up by 6 in the morning, and at one time, all of us, every single one of us, including Danny and I, were in bed at 9:30. So it just looks a lot different now, but still just a great time. So I have the two 4-inch pieces of my ribbon here, my pale papaya. And so I'm just going to, I put a little bit of tape on the bottom. And actually, where do I want? I think I want this flower at the top. So let me go on this side. And it won't matter because I'm going to be using dimensionals anyways. But I'll just kind of put this at the bottom here. And this is what I call a faux bow, because to take this, wrap it around, try to tie your bow on top. First of all, I think you use so much ribbon. I'm a conservative. I won't say I'm cheap. I'm a conservative, and I like my product to go far. So I just do a faux bow. I wrap it on the back. Never go shorter than 4 inches on this. I have a friend who gives you a piece about this big you have to tie a ribbon with, and you are totally nuts when you're done. So get at least 4 inches, and you're just going to do, this ribbon is so soft, you're just going to do a single knot, which makes it beautiful. Well, my hands are shaking. I had breakfast. Must be time for lunch. And the nice part about this too is when you tie like this, let me trim that up. When you tie it, it's the right tension. You don't have to worry about your ribbon being too loose, too tight. It's just right every single time. So I have that here. Put on my dimensionals, and I like to put the dimensional where the ribbon is on the back too, just to give it extra holding power. And then I am going to take my dimensional pieces off. I can freely throw them on the floor so they're not in my way because it's my stamp room. And I always feel better when there's a little bit of cardstock on the floor. It shows I've been very productive. So I have this piece here, and then I'm going to take the other piece from my dies. Remember, these were the Stitched So Sweetly dies. I am going to take the Evening Evergreen. And as I said, I unfortunately need a sympathy card today. A dear friend's husband passed away, and this will be going into the mail right after lunch. So sending heartfelt sympathy. Now, you'll notice I already popped this up. So at first when I did this, I kind of taped it here and just popped it on the side. You know, I just put a dimensional here because it was already up. And it just felt a little flat. So what I'm going to do this time is, since this main piece is already popped up with a dimensional, I'm only putting one dimensional underneath the left because it's going to be on that side. But if I put just one dimensional, it's going to pull it down. I want it even. So since that's dimensionaled, I'm just going to pop two on this side. So I put one down, pull that off, put the other one down, and then here it gives me, oh, you got to pull that paper off. Okay. Here it gives me the depth that I want. This is popped up, but it's flat. And believe it or not, that is how beautiful and easy this card is. And again, the inspiration came from Claire Daly from Australia. So that is my sympathy card. But again, with this stamp set, the Delicate Dahlias, I love the set. Again, lots and lots of techniques you could do here. I've just started playing with it, but I also love the sayings. And as I said, with the in colors. So these are 3 of the in colors. I wanted to use the other 2, the Fresh Freesia and the Polished Pink. And they just make a brighter card, same layout. But with the stamp set, here's my thank you card. Thank you kindly. Oh, so happy for you. Something wonderful happened to one of your friends. And then you inspire me. So to get this stamp set, as I was telling you, you actually, it's Sale-a-Bration. You can only get it for free. So let me show you the products that I used and tell you how you can get yours. Now, of course, if you're an avid stamper, right Stacy, right Gwen, right Marilyn, a lot of you watching may already have these supplies, and that's fine. But if you don't, here is what I recommend. First of all, I recommend getting the Stitched So Sweetly dies because these are great dies. They don't actually match a stamp set. They're just great shapes. Whether you have your rectangles, your words, your labels, put them in here. Wonderful, basic, Stitch So Sweetly die to have. Now you also need the die cutting machine with that. So if you are new or Stampin' watching, please reach out to me and I will explain more in detail for that. But if you get the So Sweetly dies, if you get the new in colors, which I showed you, the 2021, 2023 in colors, it's cheaper. You get a discount to buy the 5 ink pads together. It's only $33.75 instead of $37.50. So this way you have those 5 wonderful colors and create any cards that you want. I would get a pack of the in color cardstock. This is the assorted pack. So now you have the 5 in colors, 4 sheets of each of the 5 colors for only $9. Get yourself one of the in color ribbons. I use Pale Papaya a lot, but you can choose any of the other 4 colors. A pack of the basic white cardstock for $9.75. And then just the blends come to a pack, a light and a dark. So again, I use Calypso Coral a lot. You can get ones from the in colors, whatever floats your boat. You get that for $9, and right there you have $100.50 in product, which gives you the delicate Dahlias for free. Now they will not be available in the catalog any other time. They are only available for purchase during Sale-a-Bration. So that is our lunch today. That was a quick lunch. Wow, like 20, 25 minutes at the most. If y'all have any questions, give a shout out. But if not, I think this is a great place to start. Having your in colors, your cardstock, a free stamp set, and then an array of sayings so that you can make a beautiful variety of cards. Now, let me give you a tease. Let me give you a quick tease. Next Wednesday, I will be coming to you. It won't be live because I'm going out of town on Wednesday for a backstage event that Stampin' Up! Is having. It's actually a virtual event, but 6 of us decided to make it a travel. We're going on a road trip. So we will be in Georgia for this event. So I will post the video next Wednesday at noon, but that is to show you how to make this fun card. This is also Sale-a-Bration stamp set. There's these cute little sheets. Let me see if I can put my hands on it really quick. And this is it. So for a $50 order, you can get the Counting Sheep stamp set for free. Another $50 order, you get the sheep dies. But look how fun this card is. Okay, today was easy, so you know I had to step it up. So happy, so glad it's your birthday. Then when you open it, I don't know if y'all could see it this way, you have, whenever I saw these sheep, I just thought of counting sheep while you're trying to sleep. Believe it or not, I'm one of those people who really do that and it works. But if you can see that, your sheep is jumping over the fence. That's how you fall asleep, ladies. Or that's how you think of a card. So next Wednesday, join me as I share the video on how to create this fun card. And again, just another awesome stamp set and die that you can get for free. So, thank you for joining me for lunch today. I appreciate your support. If you would like to place an order, if your order is under $150, please use this host code for the month of August. You can order anytime or request my newsletter at creatingwithcolleen.com. And just remember, if your merchandise in your order is $150 or more, you receive free host benefits. You will receive 10% of your merchandise free, and we have some cool host items. So any questions on anything you saw today, please let me know. And if not, I hope you all have a beautiful day filled with lots of blessings, and that you will come back and join me next Wednesday at noon Easter time as you create with Colleen, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. All right, love you all. Do something creative today and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.